The bold and the beautiful spoilers for the week of May 5 to 9 reveal that Hope Logan will deal with a romantic curveball while Brooke Logan faces devastation. Luna Nozowa will also await her big chance to make another move on Will Spencer, so here's what B and B fans can expect. Although Will and Electra Forrester are crazy about each other, they're not on the same page about the pace of this relationship. Will's eager to take things to the bedroom, but Electra just isn't prepared for a step that huge. Of course, Luna is more than ready to land in bed with Will. It's just a matter of getting Will to surrender to his forbidden desires. Despite Will's repeated rejections, Luna will keep plotting to get what she wants with Sheila Sharp's help. Luna is bound to make some progress sooner or later, so stay tuned for any bold moves that might achieve that. As for Brooke, she seems poised to face a crushing blow. It looks like Ridge Forrester will stand by his commitment to Taylor Hayes, despite the showstopper sneakiness, so Brooke will be left brokenhearted. Meanwhile, Hope will have a lot to consider after Liam Spencer pushes her to reunite with Carter Walton. It'll be a little weird for Hope to get romantic guidance from her ex-husband, but she may take Liam's advice to heart. That's especially true if Hope gets updates from Katie Logan about Daphne Rose's plot with Steffy Forrester. All signs point to Katie blabbing that huge news, particularly since part of Daphne's mission was to break up Hope and Carter. After Carter and Hope find out there was manipulation working against them, will that change anything? Could this be what Hope and Carter need to find their way forward as a couple? As for Daphne, it's easy to imagine her leaving town in disgrace following all the backlash. Daphne might head back to Paris, though let's hope Carter and Hope will get an opportunity to rip into her first. Back with Liam, he'll count on Steffy and John Finnegan to keep their mouths shut about his inoperable brain mass. Liam still won't want anyone to know about his medical crisis, but Hope will become increasingly suspicious along the way. Bill Spencer may develop some suspicions of his own, so it'll be interesting to see when Liam will ultimately spill his doctor's grim predictions. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say the week of May 5 to 9 will bring some exciting twists and turns. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Soap Spectrum. I am Emily here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The bold and the beautiful recap for Wednesday, April 30, 2025 is here. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Eric Forrester to justify his actions. Zende'S Forrester Dominguez drops a bombshell on Carter Walton. Meanwhile, Daphne Rose tries to explain herself to Katie Logan. Brooke is yapping on the phone about her magical runway moment with Ridge Forrester. Hope Logan enters the room, so her mom wraps up the call. Hope calls it the talk of the fashion world. Hope does seem genuinely happy for her mother. Brooke brings up that it must have been difficult for Hope to not be at the fashion show. It has given Hope time for reflection and soul-searching. Hope says the takeover was wrong. Brooke asks how things stand with Averter now. Hope says it's complicated and asks about Bridge. Brooke gushes about the magic on stage with Ridge again. Hope chuckles over Taylor Hayes locking them in the vault. The younger woman adds that Brooke still made it out on the stage on time to have her magical moment with Ridge. Hope suddenly gets emotional. As they talk, Hope says she wants to make things right. If her mother wants to be with Ridge, then that's what she wants too. At Forrester Creations, Ridge tells Eric he appreciates the showstopper. Eric gushes about Brooke's devotion to Ridge, despite how he treated her. Ridge blows up. Eric tells his son that he needs to admit he made a huge mistake and get back to living his life with Brooke. Ridge blows up and accuses his father of playing God with his life. Ridge is yelling, but Eric continues justifying his actions. Eric says Ridge is the one who needs to stop waffling between two women. They both know where this ends, you with Brooke. Ridge reminds his father that Taylor is special too. Eric agrees but doesn't think she's the love of Ridge's life. Eric has always been Team Bridge, and that will never stop. After Eric leaves, Brooke enters Ridge's office. Brooke is excited about the comments. Ridge seems uncomfortable and unhappy. Brooke cuts him off to talk about chemistry and how the entire fashion industry wants Ridge to reunite. Does Ridge want that too? Ridge paces across the room as Brooke babbles about their runway moment. Ridge reminds Brooke that it was not real, it was staged. Brooke laughs it off and says Eric wants them together. The blonde continues making her reunion pitch. She wraps her arms around Ridge's neck and reminds him that she's his Logan, forever. Carter is in another room at FC. The COO looks at his phone in frustration. Guess that means no response from Hope. Carter thinks back to his relationship with the disgraced designer. Zende'S interrupts, saying they need to talk. It's about Daphne. Carter doesn't understand. Zende'S brings up walking in on Carter and Daphne. What's the deal with you two? Carter denies that anything is going on and acts confused. Now Zende'S is the confused one. Zen says Daphne's intentions are very clear. Carter says his focus is on Hope once he gets her back. Carter refuses to give up on her. Zende'S keeps asking if he's sure. Why would he not want Daphne Rose? Katie continues confronting Daphne about what she's been doing to Carter. Daphne refuses to apologize for helping a friend. Katie demands a straight answer. Are you still playing Carter? Daphne accuses her rival of being jealous. Katie wants to know if the nose is just there to do Steffi Forrester Finnegan's dirty work. The perfumer assures her there is no need to worry. The Forresters have their company back. Katie warns that Daphne better watch her step. Katie wants to know if Daphne cares about Carter, or if she just believes whatever Steffi tells her. The nose insists her feelings for Carter are genuine. She's in love. Katie is speechless and in total disbelief. Daphne tries to explain. Katie calls it a game. The nose said it was never a game. It was to get the company back for the Forresters. Katie slowly says, "So, you're in love with Carter." Right then is when Carter just happens to interrupt. Carter wants to know what's going on. Daphne says they were just talking about how much they both care about him. Carter looks confused again. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, May 1, 2025 are here. In the next episode, fans can expect Hope Logan to get suspicious after finding out about Liam Spencer's new living arrangement. Plus, Will Spencer congratulates Electra Forrester on her happiness and success. Well, that's never a good sign in soaps, so let's get started. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Liam to have a new living arrangement. I'm not sure if it was ever mentioned where Liam moved to after leaving Hope's cabin. Liam definitely can't stay with Bill Spencer. It also isn't good for Liam to be staying alone, and if he's dying, he probably will say no to living the rest of his days in a hospital bed. There is reason to believe that Steffi Forrester Finnegan and John Finn Finnegan invite Liam to stay with them. Sin might reason that way. If there is a medical emergency, at least the good doctor will be nearby. Steffi will also want Liam and Kelly Spencer to spend as much time together as possible. However, Liam doesn't just have a child with Steffi. Liam also shares a daughter with Hope, Beth Spencer. It's a bit odd that Hope said she hadn't heard from Liam in a while and even feared something was wrong. Although Liam wants his inoperable brain tumor kept a secret, he will have to face Hope at some point. Liam might have a cover story for Hope to explain his new living arrangement. However, she will be suspicious. That could lead Hope to start questioning Finn. Although Finn is banned from Hope, they were friends at one time. Plus, Finn has a moral compass and empathy, so he will have a hard time lying to Hope's face about her dying ex-husband. This is especially true because young children are involved. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for tomorrow reveal that Will congratulates Electra on her joy and success. Knowing Will, he'll want to celebrate in an intimate way. However, Electra could make excuses once again. I really wish Electra would just tell Will that she's a virgin and to stop being so pushy. Going back to Electra's success, don't expect it to last long. Although Elektra seems very deserving of happiness and success, Luna Nozawa is plotting her rival's downfall. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember to keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Maybe it doesn't matter who Bold and Beautiful has playing Taylor, the show just hates the character. In the wake of Ridge's latest split from Brooke/reunite with Taylor combo platter, he's trying to remain committed to Steffi and Thomas' mother. But even his own father is pushing him to dump her and get back together again with Brooke. Yes, despite the fact that it's only been, 5 minutes since he recommitted to Taylor in every way. Eric made a play for Taylor himself, not once but twice. He was in love with her. Now he says that he admires her, but not so much that he won't talk up Brooke to Ridge, as if the shrink was just a passing acquaintance, a Shauna. It's off the charts disrespectful to Taylor, and it begs a question we've often asked. Why would we root for any of these people? Ridge doesn't have the emotional maturity to commit to a glass of wine, never mind a partner. Brooke is utterly devoid of self-respect, fawning over an ex who traded her in so quickly, the sheets probably weren't even changed yet. And Taylor, the world-renowned psychiatrist, lacks the common sense to spot an unhealthy pattern. Worst of all is Eric. When did he become such a buttonski, and one who cares so little for Taylor, his former love interest, former daughter-in-law, and the mother of 3 of his grandkids? Did he decide to become a meddler because, despite appearances to the contrary, he just loved it when Brooke and Ridge stuck their noses in his erectile dysfunction? We know that characters can't learn from all their mistakes, or we'd be left with daytime drama minus the drama. But it would be nice if they only took 1 step back at a time instead of 10. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that their Liam Spencer has a dire health prognosis, and it doesn't look like he has much time left. Here are 3 things that must happen in order for him to leave the world unburdened. Liam is in denial about his brain tumor diagnosis, but preparations need to be made. As a responsible parent, Liam must make sure his daughters are taken care of. This means that he and his baby mamas, Steffi Forrester and Hope Logan, make peace. Additionally, the father figure in their lives, John Finnegan, must be on board. Who will help Liam ensure that the girl's financial future is secure? Plus, he should leave behind and mementos or videos. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Liam has difficult moments in the weeks ahead, but there are 2 more things he must accomplish. Liam is not talking to Bill Spencer because of a huge blow-up before all the medical crisis. Liam needs to put his big boy pants and come clean to Bill about his inoperable brain tumor. No one should leave the earth with unfinished business. It haunts the ones left behind. Liam can't hide this forever, and we think that powerful Bill can find an experimental trial for Liam that could save his life. Liam needs to help Hope and Steffi bury the hatchet for the kids' sakes if nothing else. Beth Spencer and Kelly Spencer deserve mothers who get along if their father is gone. What are the chances that Liam can convince Steffi and Hope to play nice before his demise? Tell us what you think, B and B fans. Is Liam going to die? We hope not. And Finn has already saved a Forrester from death. Maybe he has more magic in him. Or is it simply time to retire the character in your opinion? Let us know what you think in the comments below. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and updates tease Ridge Forrester might consider marrying Taylor Hayes again. He may find out it's the only way to put an end to Brooke Logan's interference. Although it's evident that Ridge still has feelings for Brooke, he remains steadfast in his dedication to Taylor. As Brooke dazzled everyone with her unforgettable performance, Taylor's insecurities began to surface. Ridge attempted to reassure Taylor by downplaying the significance of the dress, yet he couldn't completely ignore the enchantment that Brooke had described. Nevertheless, this doesn't imply that Ridge is prepared to leave Taylor behind and rekindle his romance with Brooke. As the plot unfolds, Ridge will find himself torn. but the direction of the story is clear. According to B&B Spoilers, Brooke will need to reassess her future and seek solace from Nick Marone when he makes his return in June. It appears that Ridge is determined to stay committed to Taylor, but the question remains, how will he persuade Brooke to step aside? Ridge must find a way to gain the support of Taylor, Brooke, Eric Forrester, and everyone else regarding his choice of partner. He may even have to convince himself that he can genuinely move on from Brooke. Considering all of this, it's likely that Ridge may propose to Taylor with an engagement ring. In their livestream interview on April 28, there were subtle hints about a potential wedding between Ridge and Taylor. Brooke seemed to entertain the idea of new marriage prospects, reacting to rumors about a significant upcoming event. Unfortunately for her, it may not be what she thinks. While she is thrilled at the thought of a new beginning with Ridge, her optimistic outlook may lead to disappointment, at least until Nick returns to offer her support. Rather than rekindling his relationship with Brooke, Ridge might choose to propose to Taylor and consider remarrying her in the near future. Will this be enough to demonstrate Ridge's dedication and encourage Brooke to move forward with her life? According to upcoming spoilers for the CBS soap, Ridge may soon revise his romantic intentions, so stay tuned for any news regarding a potential engagement to Taylor. The bold and the beautiful spoilers reveal that Steffy Forrester may say these 6 ice-cold words to Brooke Logan after Ridge Forrester makes his final Taylor Hayes choice. It's no secret that Steffy is rooting for her parents to live happily ever after. Steffy believes Taylor is the best match for Ridge, so she doesn't like Brooke's repeated attempts to get her ex's attention. Brooke and Eric Forrester's showstopper stunt really riled Steffy up, but she's still making plenty of predictions about Ridge standing by Taylor. Steffy is holding out hope that Ridge will honor the commitment he's made. B&B spoilers hint that Steffy will get her wish once Ridge has to choose between Taylor and Brooke once again. Of course, Ridge's decision has really already been made, so he may simply clarify to Brooke that Taylor is his final choice. We know that Brooke's going to face a crushing defeat and will ultimately realize her relationship with Ridge may be beyond saving. It sounds like Ridge will really drive the point home that he's never getting back together with Brooke. Naturally, that'll be music to Steffy's ears, since she wants Ridge to be free of Brooke forever. Steffy also wants Taylor's happiness, so she should be tickled pink once Ridge puts Brooke in the rearview mirror. From there, Steffy may take the opportunity to rub Taylor's victory in Brooke's face. Perhaps Steffy will feel the need to warn Brooke away once Ridge makes the final call on which woman he's going to build a future with. That brings us to the 6 ice-cold words that Steffy may say to Brooke in the end. My mom won, now move on. Steffy will likely push Brooke to accept Ridge's rejection and see that this love triangle is officially over. While Taylor and Ridge prepare for a new chapter together, Steffy may urge Brooke to let go of her reunion obsession before it becomes any more pathetic. Fortunately, renewed sparks will fly between Brooke and Nick Marone once he comes back to B&B starting this June. With that in mind, Steffy's victory lap could be a bit premature if Ridge's jealousy eventually steers him back in Brooke's direction. The bold and the beautiful spoilers say some surprising romantic updates are ahead on the CBS soap, so stick with us for more love interest news. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for Thursday, May 1, reveal that Liam Spencer's living arrangement will stun Hope Logan, while Steffy Forrester and John Finn Finnegan's secret gets harder. B&B fans know Liam was recently diagnosed with an inoperable brain mass, but he wants to keep the secret circle small. That's why Liam's been pushing Finn and Steffy to keep quiet about the brain tumor that could cause his grim fate. Of course, Liam isn't giving up on the idea of somehow conquering this health crisis. Since Liam doesn't want to leave Kelly Spencer and Beth Spencer without a father, he's rejecting the thought of passing away and leaving them behind. However, Liam's doctors have been making some awful predictions about the road ahead for him. Even if Liam might get a soapy miracle at some point, he's clearly going through a rough time right now and needs to be monitored closely. Since we know Liam's living arrangement will catch Hope off guard, he makes sense that he'll move in with Steffi and Finn at the Cliff House. That news could leave Hope scratching her head and lead to plenty of questions. Finn and Steffi may find that it's becoming increasingly difficult to keep Liam's condition under wraps. While Hope grows suspicious, Will Spencer will sing Electra Forrester's praises following the jewelry line's success. Electra and Ivy Forrester's designs were a hit at the fashion show, so Will's going to congratulate Electra as she basks in the afterglow of the event. Naturally, Will might hope Electra's good mood could lead to some passionate developments between them. Since Will's eager to take their relationship to the next level, he may take this opportunity to flirt and see if Electra is ready too. However, Electra will likely continue to pump the brakes, which could give Luna Nozawa another chance to fight for Will and make some sneaky plays for him. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Luna will make some updates to her tactics along the way, so stay tuned to see what's in store for Will and Electra's romance. The Bold and the Beautiful recap for Wednesday, April 30, reveals that Brooke Logan pounced on Ridge Forrester in private after Hope Logan felt guilty about her mom's romantic drama. In a backstage area at Forrester Creations, Carter Walton flashed back to various moments with Hope before Zende Forrester Dominguez questioned him about Daphne Rose. Although Zende wondered if something was going on between Carter and Daphne, Carter insisted there wasn't. Instead, Carter was concentrating on Hope and the possibility of reuniting with her. In the showroom on Wednesday's B&B episode, Katie Logan grilled Daphne about what she overheard and wondered if Daphne had been using Carter this whole time. There were concerns about Daphne coming to Los Angeles just to do Steffi Forrester's dirty work and undermine Hope's relationship with Carter. Daphne defended her efforts to help Steffi get the company back and suspected Katie was coming at her like this because of her own past fling with Carter. It left Daphne thinking Katie still harbored feelings for her former flame. Katie insisted Carter was a friend she cared about and remained worried about Daphne's agenda. However, Daphne pointed out that the company was back in the Forresters' hands and downplayed the idea that she was a threat. That said, Daphne admitted she'd fallen in love, which is something that rarely happened to her. While Katie was trying to question Daphne, Carter popped up and was curious about what was going on. Daphne claimed she was just talking to Katie about their mutual respect for Carter and how they wanted what was best for him. At Brooke's house, Hope talked to her mom about the showstopper and her regrets over how Brooke's relationship with Ridge had been affected by all the coup chaos. Now Hope was starting to see the error of her ways and got emotional over Brooke paying the price. If Brooke wanted to be with Ridge, then Hope wanted that for her. Brooke didn't think Hope should blame herself for the split and made a hopeful prediction about Ridge being her destiny. Back at Forrester Creations, Ridge ranted at Eric Forrester for trying to play God with his life. Eric was sick of watching Ridge go back and forth between two women when they both knew he would end up with Brooke. Although Eric acknowledged that Taylor Hayes brought Ridge happiness, she wasn't the love of his life like Brooke was. Ridge reminded Eric of his commitment, but Eric clearly didn't think it mattered much since Ridge wasn't engaged or married. After Eric gave Ridge another push toward a reunion with Brooke, Ridge was alone when Brooke came to the CEO office. That gave Brooke a chance to gloat about the showstopper triumph and how the fashion industry wanted them back together. Brooke wondered if Ridge wanted that too and played up how magical things were on the runway. Ridge insisted that was a staged moment rather than something real, but Brooke kept up her reunion pitch. After Brooke moved in close and put her arms around Ridge, she once again wondered if he wanted the same thing and said she was his Logan, now and always. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Brooke has some difficult blows ahead of her on the CBS soap. so stick with us for updates on all the bad news and romantic setbacks. At Brooke's house, she finishes up a phone call about wearing the showstopper as Hope comes in. Hope tells her she's the talk of the fashion world. The show ended the way it should, with her in the showstopper. Brooke's sure it was difficult for Hope not to be there. Hope says it's given her time to do some soul-searching. She's realized how she and Carter went about things was wrong. Brooke asks where things stand between them. Hope says it's complicated encounters. Where do things stand between you and Ridge? Brooke beams. They go over the chemistry she and Ridge had on stage. Hope tells her mother she's sorry. Things might be different for her and Ridge if she and Carter hadn't done what they did with the coupe. Brooke asks her not to blame herself. Hope wants to make it up to her. If she wants to be with Ridge, she wants that for her too. Brooke says he's her destiny. She knows he knows that. I'm still his Logan. At Forrester, Ridge tells Eric he appreciates his dedication to what he thinks his love life should be. Exploding, he reminds his father that he thought she betrayed them. Eric counters that he made a big mistake. It's time Ridge admits that so he can move on with his life. Ridge tells his father he doesn't get to play God with his life. You want to tell me who I should live my life with. Eric fumes, because I know. He tells his son he can't keep going between two different women. It's gone on long enough. They both know where it ends. You with Brooke. Eric goes on that there's no one else like Brooke. Ridge says Taylor's pretty special too. Eric argues she's not the love of your life. Ridge wants him to stop. He's committed to someone else. Eric points out he's not married or engaged. Go back to Brooke. It's where you belong. Backstage, Carter thinks about better times with Hope. Zende'S comes in and tells him he was just deep in conversation with the fragrance expert. We need to talk. Carter asks, is something going on with her? Zende'S doesn't mean to pry, but he walked in on him and Daphne earlier. Is something going on between them? Carter says there's nothing going on between them at all. His focus is on Hope. He's hoping they can work things out, and he won't give up on her. Zende'S asks if he's sure. Daphne is beautiful. By the runway, Katie asks Daphne if she's using Carter. Is that what you've been doing the whole time? Daphne wonders if she's expecting her to apologize for helping her friend get her company back. Katie expects a straight answer. Is she still playing Carter? Daphne knows Katie had a fling with Carter in the past. So you still harbor feelings for him. Katie cares about him a lot, which is why Daphne needs to answer her question. Is she only in LA to mess with Carter and her niece? Daphne says there's no concern. The Forresters have their company back. Katie warns she won't let her mess with her family. Daphne insists her intentions are pure. Katie asks if she's saying there's a connection between them. Real feelings. Daphne says something has happened to her, something that's rarely happened to her. Love. Katie smirks. Love. Daphne says that when she came to LA, she didn't know Carter was a remarkable man. She was helping Steffi and her family, but she didn't realize that Carter was also upset. He knew what he did was wrong. She didn't expect to fall for him, but she has. Katie mocks, so you're in love with Carter. Suddenly, Carter appears. Daphne says they were talking about how much they care for him, respect him, and want the best for him. In the main office, Ridge thanks a buyer for coming to the fashion show and assures her they'll get everything to her as soon as possible. The kiss on the cheek and she goes. Brooke comes in and Ridge tells her there's a lot of good feedback. Brooke has heard. It's not all about the designs. Ridge agrees. People liked seeing her on the runway. Brooke says they liked seeing us. Ridge grunts. Brooke. She interrupts and says the whole fashion industry wants them back together. I know I want that. Do you want that too? Brooke presses Ridge that the whole fashion industry wants the designer and his muse together. She'll never forget that moment on the stage. She flashes back to the moment they locked eyes. It was incredible. Ridge agrees it was. But it wasn't real, it was staged. Brooke explains that his father wants them to be together. She reminds him their chemistry is undeniable. The whole world wants them back together. I know I want that. Do you want that too? Slinging her arms around his neck, she purrs, I am your Logan, now and always. Could destiny have the wrong Forrester all along? When you hear the name Brooke Logan, one word probably pops into your head, destiny. And more often than not, that so-called destiny has been Ridge Forrester. It's been pounded into bold and the beautiful viewers' minds by characters, flashbacks, and wedding montages. But what if we've been missiled this entire time? What if Brooke is destined for a Forrester, just not that one? Enter Eric Forrester, her first Forrester husband, the patriarch. The man who saw Brooke before she became a household name in the fashion world, or a whirlwind of romantic chaos. He's not just Ridge's father. He's been Brooke's steady shelter more than once, even when things blew up with Ridge. Sure, he's married to Donna right now, but since when has a Logan sister ever been off limits to Brooke? Picture it. Eric is vulnerable after health scares, maybe second-guessing his choices. Ridge is distracted or gassed, even supportive. Brooke finds herself pulled back into Eric's orbit, not out of revenge, but connection, history, chemistry. Suddenly, the idea of bridge doesn't feel so unshakable when Barrick starts to spark again. The drama writes itself. Donna would lose her mind. Ridge wouldn't know what to do with himself. And the Logan family dinners? A complete disaster, just the way B and B fans like it. And let's be honest here, Brooke has taken men from nearly every woman in her family. Why would Donna be the exception? Plus, wouldn't it be poetic if Ridge, who always had an iron grip on Brooke, finally let her go, and she found comfort in the arms of the man who raised him? That's a twist with bite, and the kind of storytelling that shakes up even the most destined love story. So maybe Bridge is more of a detour. Maybe Brooke's forever has been standing behind her all this time, with a Forrester last name and silver hair to match. Don Diamond opened up about his humble beginnings working on CBS soaps and credited the Bells with his success. On The Bold and the Beautiful, Bill has navigated some dicey times. His many schemes have included such things as bribery, blackmail, attempted murder, setting Spectre fashions on fire, and much more. That's a lot to pack into 4 decades, and Don Diamond recently recalled getting started in the business and who he credits for his success. In the latest issue of TV Guide, Diamond sat down to discuss his soapy origins. He was grateful to William Bell for casting him as Brad Carlton on The Young and the Restless in 1985. The character ultimately became a business executive, but Diamond remembered Brad's humble beginnings as a groundskeeper/pool boy. I spent the first 3 months in those Daisy Dukes shorts, hedge trimmers in hand, he remarked. Diamond tonally got the fact that a soap needs its hunks, and knew he could easily be replaced with someone else who could walk around shirtless. Understanding the harsh reality of the acting world, he further explained, I took it very seriously. As a result, he became probably the most beloved pool boy in the history of soaps. Diamond felt blessed to have worked for William Bell, and even kept some of his letters as mementos, one of which stated, know that the young and the restless will always be here for you. However, when Brad was ultimately killed off, Diamond felt he wasn't completely surprised, but I was still taken aback by it. Soon after, Bell's son Bradley created the character of Dollar Bill especially for Diamond, who remarked that the showrunner was my champion. He felt he owed his longevity and drive to do well as Bill to the Bells. And the irony of all the names wasn't lost on him. Bill cast me as Brad, and then Brad cast me as Bill, he hilariously remarked, adding that the father and son had a huge significance on his life.